So now it's recorded. And now it's time to have Donna Reiner unmute herself, as she is a presidential director and she has been an expert, I would say a master at recruiting. And I asked her the other day, how do you do this? And she just started telling me how she does it. And I'm like, oh, you got to share with all of us because it's really good information. So get your notebook, get a pen. This would be a good section to take notes on. Donna?
Hello there. Thank you so much. Well, the first thing I want to share with you is you really have to be authentic and you need to be yourself. You can't be anybody but you in your journey. And so people that don't think that they can quote unquote sell, I say then don't sell. Because my motto is really, truly sharing. It really, truly is serving. And we just had a meeting the other night and I said, you know what? We are here to serve you. We are not here to sell you. Do you get to purchase it? Yes, you do. But we're here to serve you, not sell you. And so it's the same premise to me when I am out and about in my private world and my public world. And so I just thought I'd share a few examples, just real life examples on what I do. And then what I want you to do is I want you to translate it into who you are, what you would do in your life, in your everyday world. And so one, I want to tell about something really, really funny first. I was going through my phone and I wanted to call someone that I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew that I knew. And I had met this person in Austin some years back. And I was talking to this person back and forth on the phone. And let's just call this person Katie. I'm talking to this person back and forth. And I did not say their name at the time. And eventually, over several minutes of texting, this person says to me, so who are you again? And what are you doing? And I'm like, Katie. And she's like, my name's not Katie. My name's Kathy. I'm like, what do you mean your name's Kathy? You're in my phone. You have to be Katie because you're in my phone is Katie. And she said, no, my name is Kathy. And I said, well, and this is where you have to think on your feet. I said, well, since I have you on the line anyway, why don't we just finish talking about what I was calling Katie about? And so I shared with her about the technology. She ended up calling me on the phone. I find out she's been a nurse for 42 years. I've gone ahead and sent her a 5-day supply. We're having conversation about it. I'm sending her things from some of the doctor calls, and I'm just getting to know her as a person and that kind of thing. So I got to thinking, wow, that's just crazy. I really could have sworn that was Katie. So then I go to my Facebook that day and I happen to see the person I thought it was, Katie. And so I clicked on Katie and I went into the private messenger. I said, funny thing happened today. And we start talking. And then I realized, wait, neither of these people are the people I thought they were. I thought this was the Katie that I had a muffin with in Austin about 5 years ago. And neither one of them was that person. So I was like, wow, this is fun. And so I've ended up also sending this other person a 5-day supply. And she follows me on Facebook because I'm a writer and she just follows me for inspiration. So that's one example of, you can take a situation that could be uncomfortable and just roll with it, because at the end of the day, you really are there to serve and to help someone. And if you really think you're there just to sell them something, you're going to feel uncomfortable and you're going to feel, oh no, I got caught with my fingers in the cookie jar. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. So that's one example. Now, a second example is Craig and I went to the farmer's market the other day, and actually these people are on our call today. They're brand new enrollments. And so we went to the farmer's market, and I'm looking at this amazing tie-dye teepee. And I thought, wow, our grandson would love that. And I wonder if that would be okay for him. So I walk into the tent. I don't have patches on my mind, y'all. I really don't think patches 24/7. I just think, how can I love people 24/7? And how can I have a new friend 24/7? And you just never know when you're going to meet somebody that you're going to either impact their life or they're going to impact my life. And so I'm just chatting with her, finding out about the tie-dye. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Charlie, by the way. And if Wilma's there, hi, Wilma. And we start talking, and then I'm thinking, I think it's just a little big for him. He's 2, he's going to demolish it. And I said, well, do you have a website? I think that's what I said anyway. And so she gave me her card, and I noticed on the card it had like a link tree. I said, oh, a link tree. I need to have one of those for what I do. And then she said, well, what do you do? So, well, interesting that you would ask. So I shared with her what I did. And then she said, well, would that work for a memory issue? I said, well, it certainly could. We do have testimonials in that way. And I'm happy to share those with you. So anyway, I ended up going to their home because I like belly to belly. We had a conversation, and we enrolled her and her husband to the left and her mom to the right. And she got binary qualified this week. And we already have an appointment with her mom's work. Her mom's 86, by the way, with her mom's work boss to talk with them because they have a salon. So are we going to sell it? Well, yes, somebody has to buy it. But honestly, it really is about serving, and it's about helping this whole family get well, about helping this man who has memory issues, helping the mom with her cognitive issues, So if you get jammed up with, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? I'm trying to sell something. I've got this direct sales company. If you think like that, it comes across like that. But if you already have in your heart, hey, I work in the direct sales industry. And yes, this is a marketing company that I get to work in a network, and I get to share this science product that could literally change your life. If that's how you think about it, then you come across like that instead of you're there to sell them something in your MLMer. I don't even refer to this as an MLM company. I've never been in this industry before, so I'm still a baby. I've been shocked by some of the things I've seen, and I've been in awe by other things, but at the end of the day, I have found my why. I love it. And I think to myself, where has it been all my life? Who knew I was made for this? And you were made for this too. It's just about your perspective. And then I had another example, actually 2 more examples. Last night we went to eat at an Indian restaurant that we love to take some of our spiritual kids to. And as we were leaving, I saw this lady, and she just looked distressed. And I just stopped, and she's on the phone. I stopped, put my hand on her shoulder, and I said, I just want to tell you that you're beautiful. And she said, what? I'm what? I said, I just want you to know that you're beautiful. And she said, just a minute. She said, you have no idea what that means to me. And I said, well, do you mind if I encourage you? She said, please. And I had a little thought for her. And then she's already contacted me today, and I did give her my card. I will tell you that I don't give out my card. I have beautiful cards like Marci's. I rarely give out my card. If they want my card, they have to give me their phone number, and they have to let me take their picture, and I put them in my phone, and then I'm happy to give them my card. But I honestly don't share my cards, and I don't share the name of the company. And it's not because I'm embarrassed by our company. It's because they can go online. By the time you said their name, in 3 minutes, they can order from someone who is not going to possibly serve them, or they're not going to work with them the way I am. And then I can get paid, because, at the end of the day, we're here to get paid also. And so I protect my connections by allowing them to work with me. And when someone says, well, can I just go online and purchase? I say to them, honestly, I serve one-on-one. I serve you personally. I'm going to create an intake form for you. I'm going to create your login and your password. I'm going to create your account, and I'm going to give you all your information, and then you're going to have access to whatever you need. Will that work for you? And 99% of the time they say, oh, that's great. I'm like, awesome. I'll get with you in the next day or two. And then I enroll them, and I get all their information. I already have in my phone everything I need, your name, your information, everything. And I literally copy and paste it and said, this is what I need to take your order. They text it back to me. Some of them even send me their credit card front and back, which, I don't necessarily recommend, but I also delete it immediately afterwards if they do that. It's whatever their comfort level is. It's not up to me, it's up to them. Or they'll call me and give me their information. And then the other one I want to share is just so precious to me. I was in Colorado a few months ago, just kind of working with some folks and visiting my mom and love. And we were at a restaurant and we're meeting with a lady whose daughter is in experimental therapy with cancer. And one of the intentions, it wasn't the only intention, but one of the intentions was maybe I could get access to the daughter and have a conversation with her to see if maybe we could help her, because you just don't know until you have a conversation. There's so much assumption. People don't know. And so I did have that conversation. And then I just happened to glance across the way and I saw this lady and she was weeping. And she was sitting next to this gentleman and he had such compassion for her. I could just tell the energy. It was so precious to me. And I just excused myself and I went over to them and you know, I have to admit, it does take some courage. You really need to, on the inside, have some confidence. It takes courage to go up to somebody who's already weeping and in duress and interrupt. But if you know you have something that could change someone's life or you have an encouragement for someone, I encourage you not to hesitate, because you could change their life just with a word of kindness, even if it's not about the patches. Mm-hmm. And so I walked across and said, excuse me, I see that you're upset. And I just want you to know that I'm looking across the room and I'm telling you, the woman was glowing. And I said, I want you to know, I can see that you're upset, but you are so lovely. I wonder if you would mind that I pray for you. And she said, well, yes. I said, thank you so much. And I just shared a very short something that was on my heart because I was looking at her and I had some intention toward her. I shared it briefly. And then she asked me, well, who are you and why are you here and what are you doing? And I shared with her. And she asked if she could have my website. I said, no, but I'm happy to take your name and number and I'm happy to contact you at another time when I get back in Texas and give you information on this. And she said, that'd be fine. And so I get her information then. Okay. And then I text her right that moment. I make sure they get it right that moment. I don't wait and do it later. I do it right that moment to make sure they get, I have their phone number. They're not lying to me. Look, and I'm just being straight up so they don't ghost me. And I say to them, if you're going to ghost me, please tell me now. because I'm sincere in my intention towards you. And so I'm pretty straightforward. And so I continued, I started to plant little seeds with her and talk with her. So she called me a couple weeks ago, maybe 3, I don't know when. I can lose track of time because I'm talking to people every single day, no matter what. And she said, look, I just want to, I would like to talk with you about patches. I said, wonderful. And we had a conversation. She said, do you know why I was crying? And I said, no, ma'am, I don't. And she said, my 25-year-old son had died. And she said, your compassion and your kindness so impressed me that I wanted to talk with you. And I planned that moment to have a conversation with you. But I'm just now at a time when I can talk with you. And so she already has her package. I don't know, you don't know how long someone's going to be on the patches. That's not up to you. It's just your job to love people, to help them stay on the patches. I had someone the other day say that they were wanting to get off. They had too many X39s. So I personally enroll 30 days of stem cell activation, 60 days of anti-inflammatory, carnosine and glutathione normally for a beginner's pack for me personally, because I want as much as they can in their pack when they're starting. And then I let them know that we'll work with them for the next 2 months and that they'll get their next package of stem cell activation in 25 days. It'll be processed for the next step. And I just wait to see what they say, because 99% of the time they say, oh, okay. And what would that cost? And I tell them, I have found that most people want you to lead them. If you don't know, and you don't have to know everything. Listen, you cannot make a mistake on what patches people get. I know you might think you are. I mean, you've got this wrong and this wrong, and they got this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. And you're like, oh my God, where do I start? Well, you know what? Oh my goodness. Yes, ma'am. I'm happy to help you. We'll start you with 30 days of stem cell activation and 6 days of anti-inflammatory. And I noticed you talked about having low in energy. We're going to get you 15 treatments of the energy enhancer, but they're in pain. We're going to do 15 of the ice wave. I make it clear it's 15 days. And if they're in agony, but they've been in agony for months, you know what? The anti-inflammatory is going to help them over the next 2 months. And so you can really, truly work with them with a 15-day treatment and then wait and work around it and put in some energy enhancers so they actually feel like they're a human being again, because they'll have energy in the midst of their pain until their pain is gone, And so those are a few examples. I just want to encourage you. I know we use the word recruiting, and that is an appropriate name probably, but it really is about loving people. And I one day when we were at conference, you get fired up at conference, right? And I thought, you know what? You got to take action when you're fired up. You don't wait to take action 2 weeks later when you're back in your home and you got 1,000 things happening and you're already distracted by 12 other things and everybody's sick and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like it. So this is something I did, and it may not be for you, but I'm pretty ballsy. I went literally to the very bottom of my text messages, like to the very bottom, to 2019. And I thought, I don't even know who that is. So I'm like, hey, you're in my phone. How are you? I'm Donna Reiner. What's your name? And then I went through and I found someone that someone had referred to me, but I didn't really remember. So I talked to this person. So I got about 5 leads of people that have serious issues, and some that are professional, like doctors of osteoporosis and things like that, that are already on samples, a supply of the patches to use. And the secret really is the follow-up. I mean, I am working on a system. I am doubling up my efforts because I'm in this for the long haul. I'm working on a system so that I can really track what I'm doing and when I'm following up, whether I'm following up in a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If somebody says, I don't want to talk to you again, I think to myself, well, I'll just call you in another 2 months, because I don't really honestly take no. There's not been one person I've taken no from, except for one lady who literally had decided that's it. She was going to die. And that was the end of it. And I thought, you know what? I know I can't change her mind in that. And I'm not taking 25 pills a day. So I'm not going to criticize her life and the choices she's made if she's at peace in the choice she's made. But that was right after we started. I might actually circle back around and see. I don't know. I'm just chewing on it. You got to have peace in whatever direction you take. And there was one other thing I did that was, so I was shut down and sick in 2020 before COVID hit. And I thought, I hadn't been in my LinkedIn in so long. So I had like 500 messages in LinkedIn. And I thought, man, what a pain to go through that. I don't know. I thought, oh, well, let me take an hour or so. So I went through to see, and I found 5 people that I felt were legitimate requests. And I linked them and I said, listen, I know you texted me in 2019 and I know I haven't gotten back to you, but if you still are sincere or in a place where you'd like to either get to know me, want to know what I offer, or you're still doing what you're doing, I'm happy to connect. So 3 of them got back with me and 2 of them have supply out to see because they were wanting to recruit me. So when somebody's wanting to recruit you, all you have to think, instead of hanging up the phone and thinking, what are you doing cold calling me? I don't have time for you. What I think is, wow, somebody's on the phone trying to cold call me. Oh, it's not a recording. It's a real person. Yay. Let's see what we can do. To me, it's exciting. I get excited when somebody's calling me because they're a live person and they're trying to make a living. Oh my gosh. And they've got the courage to cold call. Man, it takes balls to cold call, guys. That is hard work. I have nothing but compassion for those people, and that's what some of us are doing too. So we don't want to sow into something we don't want to get back, right? And so those are just examples of And have I had things backfire? Sure, I have. We all have. Does everything go perfect? Absolutely not. Do people think you're sincere? Not all the time. Some of them have a bias against the MLMer. And I usually say, well, honestly, I'm new in this industry and I've never even referred to it as MLM. I said, because we're a direct sales company with a scientific product that we're using through this method that was chosen intentionally. So I'm not real understanding exactly where you're coming from because I don't have that kind of experience you've had. But I'd love to help you in your journey if you'd like some help with your health. And I just am quiet because if you react out of either being offended or they're trying to make you look stupid, because believe me, people love to do that. They love to criticize. They love to just nab at you, ignore you, all those things. People love to do that because that's how they feel about themselves. So don't take it personal. I know Marci uses the word unattachment. I don't quite use that word for me. I more use, I'm just not going to react to your bias and to your judgments, because at the end of the day, you're still hurting and you're still in pain, and I still have a solution for you. Even if you are going to treat me unkindly, I still have something. So if I can be the one who rises, even if I'm being the one knocked down, then at the end of the day, I still win. Because I'm keeping my integrity intact. I'm keeping my love on for myself and humanity. Because if you let something get inside of you, and I'm telling you, we all deal with it. You can't tell me you don't. Okay. We all deal with stuff. If you will not let that stuff get inside of you, then it won't come out of you to the next person that you're attempting to share this with, because it all accumulates and then it impacts how you treat someone else. It impacts how you react to this other situation with this person who's angry and upset because they got taken at the last company. Well, they're not mad at you. They're probably mad at themselves because they got taken at the last company and they feel stupid. So it's rarely about you. So if you'll just be encouraged, if you'll just remember your why. Look, I started with one why and I've ended up with a completely different why. And I so agree with what was spoken earlier about rank. From the very beginning, I was in a call and I started in June last year. And then 4 months later, in September, I was on the Monday Power Hour where Marci teaches every Monday. It's open to all distributors now. But at the time, it was only for managers and above. And I just made manager. And I was so excited. I got to be on the power call. I was like, what? I was so excited. And because I knew there was more. There was more for us to learn so we can help people. So one day she was talking about reaching deep. And I didn't even know what those things meant. Not really. And all of a sudden I saw it and I said, wait, are you saying that you treat everybody like they're yours? She said, yeah. I said, oh, I can do that. I can love people deep. Because and what I saw was, if you are just in the lane of the people that enroll people who enroll people who enroll people who enroll people who enroll people, if you even find one person way on down by their lonesome self working, and you see that they're attempting to build, if you can come alongside of them and just say, would you like some help? And I don't know everything, but there's several of us that could be happy to help you in some way if you'd like. And if they're open to it, those points go up all the way up through every single solitary person. Even if 3 people drop out and they're no longer there, you might have enrolled 62 people and you've had 30 people drop out and you're like, oh my goodness. Do you know if you still have some of those people, those active people, those points are still coming up all the way to you and through your team. So if you'll think long-term finances instead of short-term money, I love the PIB, but when she said that, I realized, wait, this is not about rank. This is about long-term income. This is about residual a year from now. And I set my sights on a year. So I'm going to set my sight on where can we be financially a year from now? So I don't know where that's going to be. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be successful at this. I don't know if I'm going to fall on my face. I don't know if I'm going to survive the dog eat dog world that is out there sometimes, but I'm going to go for it. And it's been September to September. I started in September being intentional. And then now it's been a little over a year. And it's so fun that I made presidential, but honestly, until I was making the, ranking out the money at just the manager stage, I really wasn't worried about the rank because I'm in this for the money. I'm in this for the long-term income because we have our sights set on retirement. So I just encourage all of you in the midst of recruiting, in the midst of sharing, if you'll keep your why, find your why. Find your why. And remember, your why could change 3 months from now. You might come up with a different why. That's okay. It may not be one why. There could be several whys, but find your personal, intimate why. So no matter what storm comes, no matter what no comes, no matter who says what and who does what, you have your why. It's your why that keeps you rooted and grounded, not somebody else's why. And you stay with it, you keep a smile on your face and you keep rocking and you do your thing. And when you need help, find somebody to help you. When you need encouragement, find somebody to encourage you and just keep moving every single day. And that means when you're at the restaurant and you see somebody, like I saw that precious lady whose son had died. Oh my goodness, when she called me and told me that, I thought, my Father, thank you so much for allowing me the courage to just stop and say hello to her. I didn't know how serious it was. I had no idea. And the lady last night at the restaurant, she's already connected with me, and she was in the midst of having bad news with her best friend. So this is the thing for me. I know we're in this for the money, but if you'll also keep your heart open to just serving someone that might need a word of encouragement, that authenticity is going to come out. And that intention, the intention you have of your why is going to open the doors, even if you're there just to say, hello, you're beautiful. Because I wouldn't do that for the patches. And I actually did give her my card after I got her phone number.
Yeah.
Wow. I did. That was what she got. She got my card when I got her phone number and when I got a picture with her. And we shared, we talked, and then today we've already shared and talked, and I'm already moving toward, well, how can I help your friend? And then she has a sister with things. And so we're here to impact society. We're here to impact communities. We're here to get cities. Okay. And a city comes one person at a time, one family at a time, one corporation at a time, one sisterhood at a time, one restaurant. We were getting a boba tea yesterday, and I saw this lady come out of this other restaurant, and I heard this other lady talk with, they were jamming. I said, "Ooh, you're gorgeous." She said, "Thank you, ma'am." And so I had to talk with this lady. Well, she owned this restaurant. And she looked exhausted. I said, "You know what? I have something that might could help you." So what I did with her was I put energy enhancers on her. And then I came back with a 3-day supply. So we're going to talk on Sunday. I didn't talk about X39. I talked about energy enhancers. So feel your people and meet them where they are, and you can move forward with peace and not in pieces. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. The word from the master recruiter. I took a ton of notes. I hope you did too. She talked about recruiting from LinkedIn. She talked about recruiting from the bottom of her text from 2019. Don't delete your text. She talked about complimenting as she's out in her real world jam. Did you guys hear that? And she talked about her why and not being attached and helping humanity and being of service. Wow, I'm going to stop the recording with that because this will be shared.
Thank you.